What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm just kind of doing a what's going on, what I'm up to video, quick update video, I guess you'd say. I want to kind of get back into beer brewing again. Not kind of, I am definitely getting back into beer brewing again. I haven't done a lot of beer brewing videos in quite a while. I do love beer very much, way more than most people probably do. I am what you'd say, what I would say, my self-proclaimed title, a 10th level beer nerd. I love everything about beer, the whole entire process, all the little sciencey stuff. But yeah, and that's kind of why I like, with cannabis too, the cannabis growing. I love the whole entire way that everything is done and the whole process, and it's a lot of stuff that a lot of people don't know. So that's why I like to shoot videos of it and kind of share the knowledge. This is a kegerator that I created, I want to say like 9, 10 years ago. It's an 8-tap kegerator. The way that I designed it originally, there were some things that I didn't like about it, so I went ahead and have been redoing it over the last couple weeks. So that's kind of the mess that I got going on. I just got parts and pieces and things I bought in bags and just everything kind of laying around. But yeah, it's actually getting close to being finished, but not quite. I just have to do it. And I'm just kind of, there's a few parts that I would like to get to make things a little easier, so it's kind of holding me up a little bit. But yeah, I got all my taps back in. There's my 8 taps. This originally did this weird S-curve thingy, and then kind of, I don't think you can see it on camera, but oh yeah, there's a cap right there that I just put on it. That's where it originally went in. For some dumb reason, I didn't cut the hole in line with the taps. I cut it way off to the side and then just pushed the kegerator in and was like, okay, now I'm going to make this weird joggy thing to make it work. But so I got rid of that and just ran it straight down. That way the lines aren't bent as much, because a lot of bends can actually cause CO2 to come out of solution, which can lead to a foamy pour. So you don't want that. I didn't really have that issue, but it is a possibility. So I went ahead and ran it straight, and plus it just made it a pain in the butt to run everything. The original way that this was set up was and I have 3 videos if you want to go check them out. They're not really the greatest videos, but this line right here is what I use. I think it's some type of like pool vacuum hose line or something, and that is what I use to run my beer lines through. So my beer lines that entire thing went up through the 3-inch PVC, up to the top of the tower, and then my lines came out there. And the way that this thing is designed originally, and now, was that there was a green tube that came down, same thing, same material, and it hooked to a fan. That fan blew cold air from the bottom up into a T, and then the beer lines ran through the T, and then it hooked to that green material again, and it ran up through the system, or ran up through the PVC, the 3-inch PVC, ran up into the tower, and then it stopped right there. All the lines came out of it, and when the fan would blow, lift it back up again here, the fan would blow, it would suck air from the, cold air from the bottom, it would blow it up the tube, it would go over the beer lines, staying inside of that green tubing, and it would travel up and then to the top of the tower, and then it would go back into the 3-inch. Hopefully this isn't too confusing the way that I'm trying to explain it. And it would come back out here. So you're constantly cycling the air so that the kegs stay cooler. Everything's getting dispersed around the kegs, and it made it to where the tower was cooled. So it was actually a really good design. It just having to use that green crap and then try to run it, I never did it right. I like duct taped it together. I was like, whatever. And I never made a 4th video because of the way that it kind of looked. It didn't quite turn out the way I wanted it to. And I just kind of was like, fuck it, it works. Excuse my language. So I just ran it. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna run it. And I did. And I had lots of great beer come out of this thing. Well, then eventually what happened was I turned this off for a little while because I wasn't brewing. And I had all these these bottles in here. I had tons of bottles in here. Cans and bottles, not like empties, but like full of beer. And it was just warm, and a couple of them exploded in here, and then it created this like crazy environment. And then some fruit flies got in here, and it was a mess. The entire bottom of this thing was rusted, and it had filled with liquid up to about 4 inches, and it was disgusting. So anyway, I redid the bottom, got a whole new bottom in here. I painted everything that around the edges. It is kind of bleeding through a little bit on the sides here, but you know, I put a lot of coats on it, so I'm not going to do it anymore. But the bottom's not going to rust anymore, at least not visually. If it dies, it dies. You know, I'll get a new one. It's not a huge deal. I mean, it'll be about $700-800, $900 for a new fridge, but whatever, I'll do it. This one is about, I think it's 24.9 or 24.6 cubic feet, so it's a good size kegerator. I can easily fit like 12, 13 kegs in here if I want. But anyway, I redid this whole thing, and I did it all out of PVC, 1.5-inch PVC, so now it's all nice and solid. I've got the fan up off the floor now, and the fan is actually in here. The one thing about this fan is it is a little bit loud. I can control the speed a little bit because I have a voltage regulator that can turn up or down, but it is still kind of loud. And I think one way to kind of rectify that, at least dampen the noise, would be for me to insulate that 3-inch pipe that's coming up right there, because there's a lot of vibration coming off of it, which adds to the sound. But yeah, I don't have the lines on here yet, and I would like to come up with a way to maybe to hook this on here somehow. I haven't quite decided how I'm going to do it yet. You could put a couple holes in it, but man, this is really thin, really thin metal, and there's cooling lines on the other sides of this, or coils or heating coils or whatever they are. So if you drill into one of those, then you've destroyed the fridge. So you have to be careful with that. So I'll probably make some type of strap that'll hook around, stainless steel strap that'll hook around here and maybe drill it into here. Kind of hold everything solid. And my gas line's coming here. Controller, the temperature controller is here. That's what controls the fridge. That's what turns, if you don't know, that's what turns a chest freezer into a kegerator. But yeah, and I just capped, this was my old hole, so I just put a cap on the end of it, like I said. Nothing real fancy there, but yeah, I should be able to pour some beers soon. Oh, and the other thing too is that I think I'm going to put another gas splitter in here so that I can have a few more kegs over here if I want. And I might just drill a couple holes and put maybe two or three more taps coming out over here just for the hell of it. Kind of thinking about doing some different types of brews and beers. I really want to get into some lower alcohol beers, like some, say, 1.5%, 2%, you know, somewhere around there, kind of like near beers. And I might actually do some near beers. Near beer is anything 5% or less, but anyway, so I've got that going on. That's one of my big projects. I also bought an entire new brewing system, a claw hammer, 20-gallon, 240-volt system that I got it all wired in my shed, my brew shed. So I'm kind of excited about that. So hopefully, you know, you guys still stick around, and you'll see a lot more different stuff, including cannabis growing, if that's your thing. And if beer was your thing before and I haven't been doing beer stuff, now I'm going to get back into doing some beer stuff and hopefully shooting some videos. I got a brand new phone, new camera. Supposedly it shoots in 4K and everything, so kind of excited about that. That's actually what I'm shooting on right now, but we are in kind of a low light area over here to the side. There's like no lights over here, so it's causing the lighting to be a little weird. But I got some LED strips I'm going to put in under here. Hopefully they don't look like shit. And anyway, guys, I guess there really isn't much else to say, but this video wasn't actually that short. It's 9 minutes, so have a good one, guys. Thanks for watching.